Hello, I'm the guy. Remember it, so you have to. A lot of you might be wondering where I've been the past week. Well, there's an incident in Nevada. Many people injured. I can never go back. But I'm here now and ready to do the next review. 3D seems to be everywhere nowadays, doesn't it? But a lot of people forget that this used to be a very cheap gimmick before it became a very expensive pussy. And probably its ugliest pussy was in the 80s and 90s, where 3D wasn't really big money, didn't look that impressive, and to be honest, nobody really knows why it was around. And one of the movies that tried to take advantage of this relatively big pussy was D. If you thought Jaws 2 was unnecessary, here's a sequel that adds even more mess. Crappy effects, boring crappy effects, and lame, boring crappy effects. You'll be looking at your hand thinking that's lame, boring crappy effects, flat. And of course what I mean by bad 3D is no 3D. This movie doesn't come with any glasses or anything, so it's entirely pointless. In 3D, this looks really impressive, but in real life, I look like a freaking spaz. This is very for people, just an hour and a half of this, so let's take a look. I know yet! So let's see what shit they try literally throwing at us in the opening.
Oh, fish! My god, not the entire fish! The incredible Mr. Lip will never see his face! Family again!
Fucking fish head is not scary. Next! So the premise of this movie is actually a little creative, at least in its setting. It takes place in SeaWorld, which I have to admit is kind of a weird advertising tie-in. Do you really want to advertise that your theme park has fucking fish heads in it? A giant shark that can eat you anytime he wants? It's like advertising Disney World, now with more cancer. But oh well. We get a couple of guys who are trying to close this gate or something when you-know-who shows up.
Son of a bitch! Shark crossing, you bitch! Holes! Holes!
I thought you said those tracks were secure.
Something's hung the gate up.
Better get Mike Brody out here.
Actually, all joking aside, what did Jaws exactly do? I mean, I know he's a big shark, but does he just run around with a fucking fish head tool belt to stop opening gates? So this one guy decides to look at the problem at dusk, because, yeah, that's when you'll have the most amount of light, right? As he senses something bad in the water. Fucking fish head. Fish! But of course, Jaws shows up and naps the guy. Wow, I can just feel the fakeness leaping off the screen. So we cut to our main characters, played by Dennis Quaid and John Putch. They play the Brody brothers. That's right, the sons of the main character from the first Jaws movies. What relevance does this have to anything in the story? Look at the fucking fish head! They're accompanied by their girlfriends, played by Leah Thompson and Beth Armstrong, who like to play games like Standoff, which involves two people lightly pushing each other with their palms. Truly a battle of strength and wit.
Mike flies open.
You lured me with the promise of penis.
Beer. And you owe me a couple.
That's right, coming up. 2 bears.
Are these two gonna stop making out? Come on, guys, you got company there.
Him and Catherine put in together.
So Putch and Thompson go down to the water to play their other favorite game. Chase the cowgirl through the knee-high tents on the beach. Kinky? Kinky? But meanwhile, a bigger, nastier foe is at work. That's right, I'm talking about the lowest form of scum known by man.
Somewhere down there is the best coral.
Guy in Miami give us $200 for the good stuff.
Fucking fish head coral stealers! I mean, really? Coral stealers? We have coral stealers in this movie? Who's their competition? This fucking fish head mafia? So of course, Jaws strikes again, but it wants to be sure it leaves no evidence behind. Bet you didn't know Jaws can suck rats through a straw, did you? So the wife of the first dead guy is concerned because they can't find his body. So they take that boat that you always see the Planeteers use to go under the water and see if they can find it.
We all live in a yellow submarine. Yellow submarine.
Now, get ready, folks, for some of the best underwater effects you have ever seen in your entire life. Wow. Happy Meal toys in a bathtub have nothing compared to fucking fish head. In fact, the ship itself sort of looks like Ronald McDonald's electric shaver, doesn't it?
We're at 25 feet headed for the Spanish galleon.
And hey, if you thought my green screen effects were impressive, get a load of this. Yeah, I bet you didn't know the ship had a cloaking device, did you?
Overman broke divers' rules last night. Out there. If anything happened to him, the ocean current would have washed him up here.
That's a lot of fish.
So they come across a fake sunken ship, because if it's good enough for your fish tank, it's good enough for SeaWorld, as something has the dolphins spooked. But what could it be?
I don't know. They've been acting strange for the last 2 days. Look at them.
There's a fucking fish head! Bitch! Run! So as they get out to look around, they come across the ferocious animal, or at least the hand puppet version of it. Oh my god, it's Whack-A-Shark. So Quaid and Armstrong get away by, listen to this, riding the dolphins to safety.
Faster than lightning.
Yes, the dolphins make it out as well, which is funny because we don't really know if any of the people made it out alive or if they just drowned to death, but the dolphins are okay, and that's all that matters. Well, okay, no it isn't, but who cares? The movie's over. I'll take anything you throw at me. And that's Jaws 3D, or as I like to call it, shit. Not only are the special effects terrible, even if you have the 3D glasses, but the story is just ludicrous and the characters are so boring that there's literally nothing that can save it, even if it was in 3D. And that's all I gotta say about... You know, I wonder.
The series was canceled on December 17th, 1983 due to poor ratings, with it being put on NBC of Dallas.
I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy from Memories.
Now, Simon McCorkindale's appearance in Jaws 3D marks only the second time that McCorkindale has been featured in something that has featured sharks and the Jaws theme. Now, am I saying that there's a scene from Manimal where he turns into a shark to go after a bad guy and it plays the Jaws theme? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Fucking fish head, 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 fucking fish head.